Internet discord on gaming is volatile to say the least. There's a large group of gamers who insist that everything be perfect and make a big fuss when it's not. I always laugh at the Steam reviews of people who put 1,000 hours into a game and write a negative review stating it's unplayable. Or if you don't love this thing I love, you must hate it. But we're imperfect and flawed, and the media we consume is as well. A strength for a person can be a significant flaw for someone else, depending on the circumstances or their preference. The American poet Mary Oliver once wrote, "Instructions for living a life. Pay attention, be astonished, tell about it." Now, Final Fantasy XV is a very flawed game, and it was divisive even upon release. Now, I pre-ordered the game and loved it, even though it had all these flaws. I attribute that more to a craving for Final Fantasy, as those games in general are the reasons I play games today. I mean, I bought a PS5 just so I could play Final Fantasy XVI and 7 Rebirth. So now visiting the game almost 10 years later, does it still offer that experience? And is it possible to look past issues with the pacing and story and combat? Well, let's try. So time to pay attention, be astonished, tell you why Final Fantasy XV is a game you should learn to love. The bond between Final Fantasy XV's 4 protagonists is the biggest standout of the game and influences how the rest of the game's systems should be perceived. They have genuine interaction and portray a very realistic bond. In a genre that so frequently has a mismatched group of characters coming together through world-ending circumstances, it's very refreshing to spend so much time with a group of close friends that obviously have a significant history together. There is such a sense of camaraderie between the friends that anyone who has taken a road trip or played sports or was in a band or choir will instantly connect with. The protagonists are portrayed as peers, and now that's not to say that other games don't have great relationships, but think of like God of War. Kratos and Atreus have this incredible relationship, but it's like a father-son or mentor. And that parent-like or mentor-leader relationship is much more common in games, and this allows Final Fantasy XV to operate in a unique space of character relationships. The expectations for these relationships are set immediately when they're pushing the car down the road, and they're instantly bantering and giving each other shit for who's helping or who's not. And each one of the friends in the group is someone you know. Ignis is your super organized one who makes sure everybody is on task and taken care of. Gladiolus is your strong friend, who is always there for you and in your corner, and might not start a fight for you, but would definitely finish it on your behalf. Prompto is your goofy friend with incredibly tragic lore, and Noctis is the emo friend who everyone loves but needs to be pulled out of his shell sometimes. These interactions are so organic, even to the point of being quiet during the car ride and just casually gazing out the window, or fist pumps after battle, or even getting like antsy in the car and changing positions. And they also allow our characters to be vulnerable and embrace the fact that we have to do these things together. That our strength can come from asking and seeking help. It's important to have a significant past history and trust for another person in order to open up to someone. Without the implied past relationships and obvious comfort among these people, some of those deep moments can feel unearned in games. The relationship between the main characters elevates a game that does have some serious issues. The combat mechanics of this game are overall a little thin. Magic feels both half-baked and broken at the same time. Summons are triggered by special in-game events or just extended time in battles. Dodging and attacks can seem very straightforward at times. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't enjoy it, because I do have fun with the gameplay, and more importantly though, and kind of the point of this video, it's elevated through the relationships of the main characters. They swoop in to pick you up if you get knocked down. They throw you a potion and heal you. They guard and protect you against more damage. They are portrayed as equals and very competent on the battlefield, even though Noctis is the protagonist and chosen one. Your squad mates fight as a unit, as opposed to just being present while the playable character does all the work, which is very opposite of how a lot of modern games operate, as it's very common for the members of your squad just to be along for the ride, and this is even evident in newer Final Fantasies like Final Fantasy XVI. Now, the world is at times stunning and beautiful and empty at others, but shifting how you view the world I think helps improve your experience with it. Playing it as a completionist and exploring every single corner I don't really think is the best way to experience the world, and if you feel compelled to do that, I completely understand the flaws you see in the game. The best way for me is to take in each part like you are a fly on the wall of this road trip. The views are breathtaking. There's obvious history and lore scattered about the countryside. And you casually drive by the game's equivalent of basically every wonder of the world. The moments that feel real are part of this big world, but are very small in scale. Hanging out and eating at a 50s diner, or camping, or shooting the shit with your friends, or roaming around a little city, or going fishing are the moments that really kind of stay with you with this game. It's not to say the set pieces aren't great. They are. They're absolutely incredible. Summons rule, and they feel so significant and larger than life. The issue is the implementation is a little off, with it being more scripted, but there's no denying the spectacle and beauty of it all. But this isn't really a video review, right? It's more of a shift on how we look at games like this. I enjoyed Final Fantasy 15 at launch, but never tried to play it again, or follow up because it was a game with significant flaws and issues with story, pacing, combat, etc. But going through this again and choosing to look at the game from a different lens has greatly shifted my viewpoint. The most important and best part of this game has always been the relationship between the four bros, but taking that viewpoint through the rest of the game makes even some of the more flawed aspects better. Like for combat, focusing on the synergy between the characters and the communication between them and the celebrations, or having Ignis look around to help you up when you're down, and thinking about it as a storytelling element as opposed to just a combat mechanic, improves my overall experience with the combat itself. Viewing each separate part of the game as an extension of the relationship between the main characters significantly improved my experience and enjoyment of the game. It was less frustrating for the story because you felt more along for the ride, or it reminds you of your buddy if you ask for help or want to do something and they instantly say yes without knowing or understanding any details. I thought I would become more selective picking and playing games as I got older and had less time, but shifting how I view them and focusing on the highlights of games has greatly improved my enjoyment in playing single-player games especially. So Final Fantasy 15 is a significantly flawed game, and I completely understand if it isn't for you, but I've learned to love it, flaws and all. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed.